All right, welcome back to the channel. Great news, great news, great news. As Jermell Charlo lets it be known what's going on, telling he's back and is the man at 154, and that would include to his former stablemate Errol Spence Jr., as well as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Terrence Bud Crawford, who next Saturday fights Israel Madrimov for one of the belts that truly belong to Jermell Charlo. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, Ish Talking is running amok in boxing. So as soon as Jermell Charlo does it, I'm going to do a video about it. The Iron Man says that he is back, and this announcement comes out right ahead of one of the bigger 154-pound fights that we've seen in a while, and that is between Terrence Crawford and Israel Madrimov for Terrence Crawford's introduction into the weight division. Now, before I get into it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button. Also, to anybody that talks to me on a regular basis, please subscribe to my new YouTube channel. The link will be in the description. MH Blackwell. It's a personal YouTube channel where we talk about things other than boxing. I think you'll enjoy it, so come holler at me. Smaller crowd, easier to get messages back and forth at this point in time. But anyway, let's get into this. Shout out to Barbara D. Shout out to Matty O. And everybody y'all represent. Jermell Charlo is the king of 154. He's 100% right. He's been gone. Obviously, he lost to Canelo Alvarez when he fought for the undisputed title at 168 pounds and got dropped and had put on a, generally very non-impressive performance against Canelo Alvarez, which, left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. To add insult to injury, he then has some personal issues and, family type of drama going on in his life. That seems to have passed over, and now he's coming back, but now all his belts have been scattered. The WBO belt is held by Sebastian Fundora, and the WBC belt is held by Sebastian Fundora. There's a guy whose name I keep forgetting, has his IBF belt, and the vacant and the WBA belt. His WBA belt is still out there because he has the WBA Super World 154-pound title. At least that's what he petitioned to get back. But you have Terrence Crawford, who's now going to be fighting Madrimov, and more than likely that means Terrence Crawford's going to be in the division. So when Jermell Charlo gives this message out and says this, you know that he's speaking to the champions, and also he knows that Errol Spence, which Errol Spence confirmed in a interview that was not leaked out. It was, is put out by the person that recorded it, but he was recording a conversation from a distance. And Errol Spence Jr. said, yeah, we're going to be back, like maybe November, maybe January, we'll be back. And that's going to be for the Sebastian Fundora fight. And so he said like the January time frame, November, January time frame. Interesting side note though, and something that I agree with. Shout out to Knockout Boxing 86 TV, who surmised that it could be that the fight was moved not because of some injury or problem with Errol Spence, but because of the fact that Gervonta Davis is trying to fight in October, and I do believe you have Canelo Alvarez, who's going to be fighting somewhere in the might be going into the November time frame, something like that. But that fight for Errol and Sebastian Fundora would be right in the middle of that. So they wanted to move Errol a little bit further away from the Gervonta fight and the Canelo Alvarez fight, which really will be the two fights that you are going to really, garner a lot of money. Even though I will also say so will Errol Spence Jr. versus Sebastian Fundora. That's going to be a really, really big fight, man. I'm telling you, that fight's going to do a lot better than people think it's going to do with that mixture of Sebastian Fundora, the Mexican American, and Errol Spence Jr.'s return, with people wanting to see, how he looks after that fight that took place. But at the end of the day, no matter what these guys do, over the next couple fights, people have to appreciate that Jermell Charlo's still the man at 154 pounds. Terrence Crawford said that he had wanted to fight him when he was the undisputed champion at 147 pounds. He jumped up and started pointing at Terrence Crawford. Well, at Jermell Charlo. Well, it's still the same situation. Jermell just went up and got that Canelo money and went for an undisputed in the second division and lost it. But hey, man, he's still never been beat at 154 pounds. And, one of the main things with Jermell and Canelo was Canelo's strength. Clearly his strength. So, and ain't nothing promised with Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, or whoever, or Sebastian Fundora if he wins, or Israel Madmarov if he wins. There ain't no promises with that. Any of these fights can go either way, but hopefully we'll get to see that fight. At the end of the day, though, they are going to definitely have to, 100% have to deal with Jermell Charlo, because the fact of the matter is it's Jermell Charlo that really is the champion. There, you got the saying, you have to beat the man to be the man. Ain't nobody beat Jermell Charlo at 154 pounds. So even if, say, Errol Spence became undisputed at 100 at the weight class, you'd still have to look at Errol Spence Jr. and say, nah, there's a guy still waiting in your weight division that got all his belts taken from him because you hadn't beat him. Because he's never been beaten. He lost at 168 pounds. So, hey man, it's going to be a good year or couple years in the 154 pound division with all of the action moving up there. And on a related note, because I'm probably not going to do a separate video on this, but I will mention it. I had Greg Hackett stop by the channel one time, and hey, I got to tell you, man, that Greg Hackett, who has a YouTube channel, very, very knowledgeable boxing guy out of Philadelphia. He said that he thought Jaron Ennis should move to 154 pounds because he could get the fights faster. With Errol Spence, Sebastian Fundora, and Jermell Charlo coming back, I think that 154 pound division is now so stacked that he has to do it. Yeah. Get a couple more fights in 147, but immediately get up there to 154 pounds as fast as you can. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comments section. And thank you guys so much for stopping by. Holler at your boy in the next video. Deuces.